sat now with Paul Delaney, who's the Kuwait youth team coach and manager, I presume. Yeah.
Well, no, we have a separate manager here.
Okay, right.
Sometimes it feels like you're doing a few different jobs.
Okay. What are you doing here in Saudi, and more importantly, what are you doing out in the Middle East?
Yeah. I was out for 2 years with Kuwait from 2004 to 2006 with Andrew, and we had some success in those 2 years. At the end of the 2 years, we decided to move on and try something a little different. And the opportunity came up. The Sheikh Talal, he came back to Andrew and asked us if we'd like to go back. So we signed on again for 2-year contracts, and we've been back in Kuwait 6 weeks. Started up with the Kuwait Open. We've had a swing of 5 tournaments, which was Kuwait and then Bahrain, Thailand, Egypt, and now here in Saudi. It's gone pretty well so far. The guys that we left 2 years ago have certainly improved and matured in that time. So we're happy with their progress. And my job basically is to pull through the next level now, the next group of younger guys, and try and pull them up over the next 2 years to progress to the national team.
Excellent. So you've got a full strategy in place, really.
Really, yeah. I mean, last time we were here, these guys that you see out here now, they were youth bowlers, and they pushed on through to the adult team. So now what we're looking for is the next generation as such. And we've got a group of 16 to 20-year-olds bowling in Kuwait now. There's about 20 of them, and we're going to see if we can push them through to the next level, get them on into the youth team, and then hopefully push these guys for a place in the adult team eventually. We also have a base of about 70 kids bowling, so ranging anywhere from 8 to 16 years of age, and we just let them bowl and work with them and try and progress them on as we go.
So what's the difference between bowling here in the Middle East or the Gulf States and say the UK or anywhere else that you've actually bowled?
Government backing, I think, is the main difference. When we first arrived in Kuwait, we were pleasantly surprised and shocked. I mean, there's not too much that you can't ask for, with regards to preparation. Whatever you think that you need, if you put it across in the right way, you more often than not get it, and that enables you to pretty much cover the whole spectrum of what you believe you need to progress these guys onto a top level.
So you think there's a lot more respect for the sport of bowling in the Middle East than there would be in certainly the UK? Yeah,
John, there certainly is, and there's no doubt that the success that we had in Kuwait initially has helped the sport. The government have certainly backed it even more now. Obviously you bring the results and they look at it and say, okay, these guys are doing a good job, they're bringing results for the country, so let's go ahead and back them even more. And that's basically what's happened. And I wouldn't say bowling was huge when we arrived there, but the exposure you get from winning medals in a country like Kuwait, they don't compete in a lot of sports. So if you're bringing home medals, they think it's fantastic.
Excellent. So I mean, excuse me, is there a lot of media coverage in Kuwait or in the Middle East?
Huge. I mean, the first tournament when we originally arrived there was the Golf Championship, the Youth Championship, and it was the 5 countries. You got Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, and who am I missing? UAE.
UAE. Yeah.
The coverage was from morning until evening on live on Kuwait television for the full 7 days.
That's incredible.
It was roughly about 10 hours of live coverage a day. And
sponsorship presumably is similarly involved. If TV's there, I'm sure sponsorship is there.
Yeah, they can get the sponsorship involved because obviously the live television, so that helps a great deal.
Okay. Anything you'd like to say to the people in the UK or anywhere else?
Oh no, say hello to all the guys back home, and I always check out for the results, and it's a nice feeling when the guys are bowling well. Paul Moore, loved watching him when he was beating up on all the Europeans for a couple of years. Hope he comes back again, I think he will in the next couple. Dominic Barrett's bowling fantastic right now, and there's a couple other guys. Darren Cundy I saw last week in Egypt, very, very good bowler. Be nice if he could get out and bowl a little more often, but you understand with those guys that it all, most of it comes out of their own pocket, and they've got to back themselves. So, I will say one thing is that the people have said to me how fantastic it is in Kuwait and the Middle East, but there's also, you have to have the right mix. Just because you throw everything at someone and you throw equipment and practice and trips and you know, money, etc., it's not always the best thing. You need to have that right mix of wanting it at the same time. If it becomes all too easy, you know, sometimes you don't push yourself. So you've got that in between where the Europeans, I see that they need to sacrifice a lot, whereas in the Middle East they kind of get it on a plate as such. And finding that happy medium where you make them, you know, still at the end of the day want to bowl good and bring the results is important. It's finding that right balance.
Well, thank you, Paul. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Hopefully we'll see you later on in the finals with the... who is actually going to win it again?
Well, I'm not sure who's going to win, but we'll do our best to get some guys in the final, and then when it comes down to the matches, we'll see how it goes.
Thank you, Paul. Take care.
Thanks, John.
الفرحة هلت والكل